Okay, today we're going to go over the study guide one more time, and this time I'm going to film it, so if you need a little extra help when you're at home reviewing these things, you can just make reference to this video and play it over and over again until you understand what it is that we're going over on the study guide. What happens during an equinox? First, we take the word equinox, equinox. That's equal night. In other words, 2 times a year comes a day where we have 12 hours of nighttime and 12 hours of sunlight. We have the vernal equinox, which is in the spring, sometime in late March, the 3rd week in March. And then we have the autumnal equinox, late September, in the fall. Okay. Next, solstice. Latin word sol, sun. We're talking about the sun. 2 times a year, we have the solstice. Soon, we're going to have the summer solstice, which means there's one day during the summer that we will have the most sunlight. That means it's the longest day of the year. Of course, the day is 24 hours, and by longest day, we mean the day that the sun is out for the most period of time. Then we have the winter solstice, which is the opposite. One time during the winter, where we have the least amount of sunlight. A very sad, dark, and depressing day. If we remember, during the winter, the sun sets at like 4 something, and it's super dark, super early. And the solstice happens 2 times a year, once in the summer, once in the winter. Okay? So quite literally, that gives us the difference between the solstice and the equinox, which could be an open response question. Next, name and illustrate 4 different moon phases. I'm just going to give you 2. These 2 are the easiest. First quarter and last quarter. During the first quarter, which side of the moon is dark? Look it up. What do you got? The left side. Last or third quarter. Okay? I mean, if we really wanted to do 4 random ones, we could also do full moon and new moon. Whatever is the easiest moon phases for you to remember. For me, I think these would be the easiest ones to remember. Okay? Next on the study guide. Describe a solar and a lunar eclipse. Okay. Solar eclipse. We have the sun. We have the moon. Excuse the moon for not being a perfect circle. And then we have the earth. This is your solar eclipse. People on earth, it's nighttime over here. And they experience a new moon, which means they don't see the moon until it passes in front of the sun. For a lunar eclipse, we have the sun, we have the earth, and then we have the moon. What happens here is we have the sun's light. People who experience this are over here. It's the nighttime for them. And we end up with 2 kinds of shadows, especially in this situation. We have the inner shadow, which completely darkens the moon. And then we have kind of like this outer shadow, which is not as dark. The inner shadow is the umbra. The outer shadow is called the penumbra. Okay? Same over here. We have the umbra. People on this point of Earth see a total solar eclipse. People who are caught in the penumbra see a partial solar eclipse. Those are the differences between solar and lunar eclipse. Illustrate solar, illustrate lunar, just did that. How many times does the Earth revolve around the sun in 1 year? Gigi. Once. I'm gonna keep that in. Mr. Marino, keep that in. Good job, Gigi. 365 days in a year. 4 seasons. 3 months per season. 365 days, which means the Earth on its axis rotates 365 times in 1 year. Okay, for it to revolve around the sun. How am I doing on time? 1 minute?
Perfect amount of time.
Alright, you didn't hit pause, not so. Thank you. 365 days a year. We have 4 seasons. Each season is 3 months. And during that time, the Earth is revolving around the sun. So let's kind of illustrate what that looks like real quick. You can also make references to the demo that we did where we had the light bulb, where we had the white styrofoam ball with the pins in it, and I had it on a tilt and we went around the light bulb. So if this is the sun, and we're gonna go, so we have our tilt. We have our tilt. We have our Earth. The tilt is exaggerated on this, but that's okay. Alright. So during these 2 seasons, we have our equinox, and during these 2 seasons, we have our solstices. Okay? So we can just pick one and say that in the northern hemisphere, let me give all of these hemispheres. In the northern hemisphere, we're experiencing winter. That's because the sun's light is not as direct on the northern hemisphere. So in the southern hemisphere, we have summer. Over here, in the northern hemisphere, we have spring, southern, fall, northern, we have summer, south, we have winter, and in the northern hemisphere, we have fall. In the southern, we have spring. The reason why we have the seasons is because the uneven direct and indirect sunlight that we're exposed to during our revolution around the sun. And we have about 3 months for each one. So there's our 1 year. Okay. Explain how the Earth was, if the Earth was not on a tilt, why would we not have seasons? Well, we know why we have seasons because of the direct and indirect sunlight. And as we move into the summer now, presently in June 1st, we're getting more direct sunlight. The days are longer. In other words, the days are not more than 24 hours, but we're getting more sunlight in those 24 hours. If the Earth was not on a tilt, the direct and indirect, there would only be direct sunlight. And it would be even throughout the northern and southern hemisphere. We wouldn't experience seasons. It'd be the same year round. What do people mean when they say it's summer, which means the days are getting longer? Well, as I previously explained, the days aren't actually getting longer. We're just getting more daylight. How many of you have been outside in the evening recently? Yeah. What time is the sun starting to set?
8:10.
About 8 o'clock, a little after 8. Thank you. So, if you have any questions about the study guide for Monday's quiz, don't stress out, reach out and email me, jmarino@bpsk12.org. Do not lose this study guide. Make sure you bring it to class Monday. Thank you very much. Thank you for following, like, and subscribe.